That's why Jagged Alliance 3 is a great break.
But apart from that, you should be playing Warhammer 40k. Welcome, folks. Good evening, all. Welcome to another exciting adventure of Wobbly Player Syndrome. Let's check all the mics are working. They are working. Technology is successful. May we all pray to the machine god. It's fantastic. How are we all? We've got people here. If you're watching. Thank you very much, Pronto. I was just wondering why that one came up, because I've changed some of the icons. But anyway, that's fine. That's fine. I don't know how many months that was for. 55 months. Welcome.
Yeah, but Radio Mike's all we do is beat me.
Well, I don't know. He hasn't done anything at the moment, so, no peer pressure at all.
Yeah.
It's okay. We do have Radio Mike here.
Hello.
We've got Safe for Work, Mark.
Hey, everybody.
We've got Pronto.
Hello, and thank you for having me back.
Thank you for having you back.
Yeah.
That also says 55 months, but thank you to you both.
Yeah, he usually beats me with the...
Oh, getting it in first? Oh, right. Fair enough. There you go. Welcome. And I am Red Belly, or you can call me Greg. Your choice. I've been called worse. It's fine. Won't take it personally. I got called Michael today. That was exciting.
Stop sign.
I went to a client site and I introduced myself, Greg, and then they went, Michael. I said, no. Yeah, it was weird. But, maybe they're just figuring Radio Mike will be on tonight. That's all I've got stuck in my head. It's all about you.
Oh, my Medieval Society campsite, it's like, if you're not sure, call him Michael.
There you go.
It was like 6 of us.
Fair enough, that'll work. So welcome everyone who is listening in on the podcast or watching on YouTube or watching here live on Twitch. This is a Wobbly Player Syndrome, a 40k podcast, episode 87. That's a lot. I'm sure that's relevant somewhere. I don't know why, but you'll work it out.
They haven't stopped us yet.
They haven't stopped us yet. They can't stop us. They can't shut us down. We'll just keep switching channels. Be fine. This month's episode is called, we'll leave it over to Radio Mike to tell us.
Supplements. This is the way.
Feel that energy. That's right, we're going to talk about, as we've seen the teasers of the Salamander and Iron Fist supplements coming out. Are they actual supplements is the question we're going to ask, or are they going to be a bit more chunkier than that? Or are they, the odds going to against it a full codex? But with the relevations, right. With the new Space Wolf Codex and all the missing parts, does that give us more weight to these codexes? Could be just fatter supplements? Who knows? But that's what we're going to talk about tonight, guys and girls and others. I hope you're going to enjoy it. And feel free to comment along the way. I think I got everything out of the way. Good. We can go into the real stuff. All right, so we'll go into our regulars, which we start off with Radio Mike. It's all about him tonight. What the hell is that all about?
It is. I can't help it.
Yeah. New releases. There you go. Sorry.
New releases. It's not very exciting. It's only 1,000 Suns.
They're not out.
Yeah, they are. They're not out yet. They were the last pre-order, and we're about to get the Wolves pre-order on the weekend. So I'm saying they're out. The next pre-order is almost out.
Hang on, there was 2 big things that came out since the last podcast. 2 big things.
No, I talked about those in the last podcast.
They weren't out then. They're out now.
So yeah, there was all of the Nurgles, there was all the Death Guard stuff, and all of the World Eater stuff, which we talked about last time, because it had gone up for pre-orders.
Yes, and we complained about it. Yeah.
And then there's the Thousand Suns codexes and the Warp Flame Thrall Band Battle Force with the new robot things.
Yeah.
Sector robots, which are very strangely painted. I would have expected them to be more painted to match the Thousand Suns.
Yeah,
They're
the
weird.
GW version of the way they painted looks not great. Other people I've seen painting them look pretty good. So,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
I thought they were Eldar.
yeah. Don't know.
like they don't even look like the Heresy. There was a special Thousand Sons automata that the Thousand Sons had during the Heresy, and they don't even look like that.
Oh, I thought that's what they were meant to
just
represent.
no, they look nothing like that.
Oh, there you go. How bizarre.
Yeah, it's wild. But yeah, so there's that battle force that has those guys in it. There's a new combat patrol coming out, which has got more Zangor, like everyone loves.
Well, they do lose the
the data sheet.
cultists. So they do lose the cultists, so they need some chaff, and it's just more bird goat people.
I mean, bird goat people are better chaff than what the Emperor's children got, which is no chaff.
Which is themselves. Yeah.
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 And no predators, no heavy things for world eaters, for Emperor's children. They're just really bad.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like I was looking through what's in the Death Guard Codex, and it's pretty much all in there. I don't think they took anything out, did they?
No. Oh, the cultists.
Like, well, yeah, but who gives a shit about the cultists? Like, you guys got to keep predators and dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Yep, suckers.
Eaters. World eaters have dreadnoughts. Predators. World eaters have 2 suites of jackals. They've got the jackals and the goremongers.
You've also got rapid fire las cannons on a Land Raider.
Yeah, but you're jealous of that.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. You squeeze a trigger harder than everyone else that makes it rapid fire.
Yes. It's with anger.
Oh.
The rounds just want to get out of the tank.
Yeah.
I mean, our bloody Land Raiders for the Emperor's Children are pretty much our any tank. We don't have very much.
No, we've got rhinos and Land Raiders.
Yeah.
I haven't got Land
But
Raiders.
yeah, it's very strange, some of the stuff that's been going into and coming out of codexes. And on the pre-order front, on the weekend, all the Space Wolf stuff goes up.
Yeah. Oh, just to...
And the Manufactorum terrain is coming back.
It's either GW got their numbers right, or you can tell which is the more popular faction when the World Eaters and Death Guard sold out within minutes, and I could pick up the 1,000 Sun book the following day. They're not as popular. Okay, sure. In fact, I think that's still available through Gap Games. There's a plug for you. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, but
It's also a bit worried when they don't do the Space Wolves Gap Games once again. They did not do an expression of interest for Space Wolves Battle Box.
Did they not?
No, and they even put on the website, we are not doing expression of interest.
I reckon it's because they got shafted for the last boxes. They just, because they have done that before and not do expression of interest because they just do not know how bad the numbers are going to be.
Yeah, when Games Workshop tells them, get fucked, we're not telling you how many you're getting, they can't reserve them.
Yeah. Which is really disappointing, but I did got my Codex from them, so I'm all good.
Games Workshop really giveth with one hand and taketh with the other. Like, they're like, oh yeah, we're still being cunts about the way we deal with pre-orders and shit, but we're giving a bunch of bonuses to our employees because we made massive profits.
Yeah.
It's like, that's admirable, but also, fuck you.
Yes. So it means the prices
sounds like you need to buy some shares.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was also a big announcement of Horus Heresy. I know it's a 40k podcast, but we should throw this in mainly because they're salamander colours.
And who doesn't want a Fellblade?
Me? I don't need more.
Yes, you do. Everyone needs more.
I don't know. Every time I see the big shotters, I only ever think of Fifth Element. Right at the start, as they're wandering around. No one? Come on.
Yeah, I kinda, yeah. Yeah, I can sort of see that.
There were other things apart from
they absolutely
her, okay?
look like that, yeah.
I know we focus on one thing only, but... yeah.
And that thing is...
Yeah, I had to think for a sec, because it's been a while.
All right, so that's it. That was it, all done?
Yeah, there
Yep.
wasn't that much for 40k. Like
New chapter
it was all.
approved.
The
Game
new
things
cards
coming.
went on
Pre-order.
pre-order.
Yeah, the mission deck and Codex Crusade Armageddon,
Yeah.
which are all in pre-orders, and people get mad
Yeah.
at me when I talk about the
Because
pre-orders.
they're not here. New release, not I hope it comes out soon.
Yeah, not. Can I put myself down to get a box in 10 years?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean that's all of the releases for the past fucking 3 months.
Yes, that made me feel
Fucking my fucking cacophonist. They were just like, oh yeah, when I chased them up because they didn't send it to me, and they're like, oh yeah, nah, we cancelled your order. It's like, oh, thanks.
Wow.
And then I
That's not
online
through Gap
from
Games,
a
I just want to
stockist who
point that
had
out.
a spare one. No, that was through Games Workshop
Yeah.
because I went there because everyone else was sold out.
Yes.
And then
Yeah,
Games
you-
Workshop were like, whoops.
Speaking of sagas,
you should see my email list, my email chain with Games Workshop customer support. It's just like, we are working really hard with our logistics teams to fix this pre-order issue. And I went, you don't understand what a pre-order is.
yeah, if I've given you money, I'm expecting a product on launch.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
like the initial response of like, we're checking with the warehouse. And then
Yep.
I got a follow up a couple of days later. It was like, we've cancelled your order.
They checked
I
went,
got
money
whoops.
back.
Yeah.
I got we can guarantee it's just been shipped. And I went, a week and a half late.
And that's why I said it's not a problem if they come out with all these new box sets, Greg, because you'll order them and then they'll cancel your order and you'll get your money back and you'll be fine.
I don't need the box sets. I'm not a big fan of them bringing out these box sets, and yeah, that's the only way you can get the new model. So I will be without the Lord of Pox until he comes out by himself. I'll be without the Secretary robots until they come out by themselves. I don't need more
So
goat birds.
I went down that line with the World Eater one. And I went, I only bought that big battle box for the Soul Brand or the Possessed Big Boss.
Yeah, Slaughter guy.
Slaughter Band or something, but I've actually used the 8 pounds.
Slaughterbound?
Slaughterbound, yeah. But I've also used all the 8 pounds.
Yeah.
I built all the 8 pounds.
I looked at the
'Cause I needed
Combat
more.
Patrol for 1,000 Suns because I don't have a Demon Prince for them. And I went, oh, do I need 3 more Enlightened though?
Yeah, I looked at the World Eater one and I went, do I need it? No.
So, look, I think they're good.
Yeah, I
If you're
think the
starting an
question
army, I think they'll work out well. If you're expanding an army, questions will be asked.
I think the question really comes down to, do you want it? Not so much need it.
Yeah, no, I can't play that game because if I do, I want it, then I would forego food forever. So, yeah, if I have 3 meals I've got to miss, and then it's all anarchy apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so don't do
That
that.
was I remember one of my mates back when I was at college. He was like, well, it looks like I'm eating rice for the next 6 months.
Yeah, just don't miss them. All right, so that's the new releases. Look, exciting for the Horus Heresy players. Very exciting for the Space Marine players. Those models look amazing. But we'll talk about the Codex itself because there are out there battle reports already and leaks and stuff, so people know stuff already. I don't because I didn't look that close, but it's all right. That's why I've got 3 other people here so they can talk and I can be quiet because that's me. I'm the quiet one. Let's go to Hobby Progress. Is that where we'll go first? Yeah, we're doing Hobby Progress. Adam, you're up.
Oh, damn it, I was hoping to go, don't be me, don't be me, don't be me. All right, so because I had a game with Greg on the weekend, I had to get a lot of models finished. So I got my Damon Prince, who was at the start of last week, he was actually white and red-faced. So he got finished. He actually looks quite good in that photo. He actually looks not that bad. Don't get too close. My Slaughterbound really looks I'm really proud of that. Contrast paints for him, absolutely the only way to go for those guys. And a squad of 8 bound. Where the only and the little tiny Khan. Now, I really want the new model of Khan because he's probably going to be the berserker size, so it looked funny running around with berserkers at the size of Primaris and this little Khan. He looked like little baby berserker.
Short man syndrome,
But-
Khan.
Yeah, well, that's why he's angry.
Yeah.
He needs the
But yeah.
supplements.
Yeah.
How else is he going to betray you if he's not angry?
Exactly. But that was my painting for just last week. So I think I need Greg to give me another battle of another one which I haven't finished. Please don't say, Adam, you're playing Death Guard.
Hey, Adam.
I don't think I could paint that much in a week.
Oh, good. I have to play Thousand Suns once I get my Codex anyway. What have I been doing? I have been painting Death Guard. I've been playing Darth Guard with a deep breath. I managed to finish 2 models. I managed to finish the Lord of Virulence and Typhus. I was really happy how Typhus came out. I tried something different with I'm waiting for him to come up as a picture so I can actually talk about it. He's not going to. Cool. I did do Typhus. Trust me. There he is. I had a lot of fun painting Typhus. I punished myself by putting a lot of edge highlighting into that leather wrapping. And then the flies on the back. Note, if you ever do Typhus, paint him before you put the flies attached to his back.
Oh, yes.
Don't
yes,
put
yes,
them on
yes.
first. I did that, and so it was very difficult trying to get underneath, but I feel it's come out quite well. Did some colour shifting paint on the wings for the flies, so they stand out a bit, but not too much. And I like how they've come out. Now I'm trying to do Blight Lords because I want to run the Blight Lord Terminator detachment with 15 Blight Lords. It should be fun.
Yeah, I'll be sick that week.
It'd be great. Now, what's more impressive is this guy, Radio Mike. He's been busy.
I've painted all kinds of random stuff lately. I've been trying to kind of knock out Fulgrim. He's still in sub-assemblies because I took one look at that model and was like, I need to not. I never do sub-assemblies, but I made an exception for Fulgrim. It's just too much fiddly shit going on there. And just been trying to truck on with a bunch of the Emperor's Children stuff. I actually started painting my Lord Exultant today because I never finish one model before I start a new one. I don't know if you've got some of the Blood Bowl models in there as well that I've been randomly hitting as well. But
Fulgrim, a Land Raider. There is a Blood Bowl. Is that a Red Ogre? I think it's a Red Ogre.
oh yeah, it's the old picture of the Rat Ogre. I was going to say he got more progress last night, but I don't think you have a photo of that. I posted it this morning.
Then probably no. No, I did it. Yeah. Yesterday's a cut-off unless you send it to me directly and tell me.
Yeah. No, because I was doing the Rat Ogre because I was experimenting with like different types of skin and washes and stuff. And Fulgrim's been interesting because I've been doing a lot more glazing and I've been starting to try and use some of the contrast paints for glazing, which I haven't done before.
It looks very nice. Quite impressed with the progress.
He's looking pretty cool.
Yeah, with his multiple butt cheeks.
Yes, he is fully caked up. And I did go in and highlight his cake. You just can't see it because his cloak's in the way.
Oh, he's modest because that's all we know him for.
Yeah, he's totally modest.
That is all the hobby. Oh, sorry, Mark. Did you have any hobby progress?
No.
Yeah, it's just rude of me to assume. I apologise for that. Yeah.
No, it's a perfectly reasonable assumption at this point.
It's still early in the year. You've still got another 6
I've
months.
got one
to finish
model
your
left to paint, and then I have to buy stuff.
Oh no!
And that might actually happen this year too.
Oh god! We'll
I
have a
know.
whole episode just on that.
I might have to
Oh, yeah.
pick a new army.
He got
100th
some more
episode.
colours. He got his base.
Yeah. All I see is a blurry rat, and I'm trying to describe it to the podcast listeners. It's a blurry rat.
For our audio listeners, Radio Mike held up a small painted Rat Ogre.
Yeah, but they didn't focus, so yeah. That's good. We've been doing a hobby, most of us. But one more model. Just do it. Just do it. Do I
Yeah.
need to do last painted standing to make you paint it?
Bring that back.
No, it's really more about having the time when I'm either not hacking up my guts or wrangling a 3-year-old.
Give the 3-year-old a brush. Should be fine. Comes off
Well,
walls, I'm sure.
I would, but it's not a terrain piece, so I can't really
Your
get
house
away
is a
with it.
terrain piece, mate. You'll be
I
fine.
mean,
Oh,
you just
yeah,
get googly
100%.
eyes.
Googly eyes. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, folks. If you want to see us bring back Last Painted Standing, let us know.
That was
Basically,
fun.
What was that?
That was the last model you painted versus someone else's last model painted. So in one instant, Mark had a gene stealer up against basically a graded demon. So, it can be an interesting
That
mix.
was fun.
Or a flyer that just went around.
Yeah.
Couldn't hit it.
Didn't I bring a Ripper one
You did.
time
There
as
was a
well?
Ripper Swarm once versus a Terminator, I think. Yeah. It
Uh,
makes it interesting
yeah.
what you come up with. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be fun.
Yeah. Well, you'll have to paint something, though.
Well, I've got it. I mean, all my stuff's here, ready to go. I just need some time to actually sit down and do it.
Maybe we'll do a episode where we paint at the same time, and then all the people watching can see us all do the TV face trying to get this little angle here. Yeah, yeah, be very entertaining. Speaking of
Don't
entertaining,
see me sitting there in the corner.
They'll
Yes.
just be shouting at their screen, "You're doing it wrong."
yeah, that's why I put mute on. Right, so let's get into the battle reports so we can go into the main topic. Battle reports, there were 3 battles that I know of, but I've only got photos of 2, and even one of them doesn't have many photos. I pressed the wrong one first. Now I broke it. I've been having issues. Everything reset earlier, so I'm having some issues, technical issues. Breathe.
Hang on, which one's this one?
This is the one we did on the weekend. This is the Death Guard versus. I saw the pink Land Raider. It threw me a sec. It's the Death Guard versus World Eaters. The Land Raider that was on loan from the Emperor's Children.
No, the Emperor's Children don't know it was on loan.
Yeah, you just talk, and I'll just fix up. Just while you talk about.
I thought you were
while I
World
fix up
Eaters,
what
not
was
Blood
going on.
Ravens.
Talk about the battle. Talk about the battle.
Well, they didn't know that it was on loan, so does that mean you're Blood Ravens?
Well, Angron promised to bring it back clean. All right. So yeah. So it was an interesting.
Right.
It was an interesting 2 brand new codexes.
Oh God, yeah. It's an emotional game for one person.
Very emotional game. For who? We'll let that discuss later on. But it was just like I brought Khan for the first time. Khan field the battlefield, just for the fact of when he didn't get in there, he still shoots one of his own members and kills them. So I just had to bring him, and he's quite fun to play. Full, a 8-pound exalted 8-pound squad, 6-man squad bomb, and everything like that. It was quite brutal at the start of turn 2, and even during Greg's going, well, end of turn 3, the game should be over.
Let me explain that. I ran the Mortaran's Hammer detachment, which is just vehicles. So I had very little troops. And then he was on, and then the World Eaters decided to basically in my face by turn 1. I went, oh shit, I'm going to lose this very, very quickly. So, okay. But at the end of turn 3, I think the score was 45-11.
Yep.
I was the 11.
I can see how that might be emotional.
Yeah. If you go to YouTube, watch the game. It is not edited, so it's the full live stream. And you will see the full range of emotions from me. Anger, tears, but it gets interesting towards the end. It became happiness. It became shock, surprise. It became awe. And there was a little snafu at the end, but anyway, moving on.
Greg won.
Yeah, by 1 point. 1 lousy point. Yeah. It was...
He knocked me off two objectives, which got him the points.
Yeah, because it was the supply drop, so the last objective became 15 points, and I was standing on it. And that brought me back up. Happened to pull some secondaries that helped. It was fun. As much tears and anger and joy there was, it was fun. I think. I don't know if I'd run
the
that
roller
the
coaster.
detachment again. But yeah, if you watch it, I did hear Ice Mac tell me last night that it was just a full emotional roller coaster to watch me cry, angry, rock back and forth in the corner, the whole lot. So, yeah.
Because even at the end of turn 1, I was, and what's the score? And you went, oh, I'm at 0.
Yeah.
And I went, no.
Yes.
I'm at 0.
Yes. But there we go. The other battle. I think I got everything working now. Oh my god, what's happened? So my stream deck has just had an absolute wobbly. Let's see if I get this right. No, it's right. There, battle report. The other one is Drakari versus, what did you run? Oh, Emperor's Children.
Emperor's Children, that one wasn't streamed.
No, we just took photos of this one. Because I was running Drakari and I don't need anyone to watch me do that.
Play it safe, wager $0.
Yeah. That did not go so well for Drakari.
All I can sit there and say for that one is model of the game is the Emperor's Children Demon Princes.
Oh my god.
They are beasts. Tank shock and mortal wounds just going left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
I wish the other ones had that.
So for players at home, Emperor's Children Demon Prince has free tank shocks. So it's not a 0 CP, it's a built-in ability tank shock. So you can do it more than once per turn. If you got more.
No, it's once they charge, when they get into charge. So once they charge, they hit. It's a tank shock. So it's just like, wow. And it's just not like 1 or 2. It's like 4, like up to 6, I think, wounds or something like that it was.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
Yes. And we did have the ultimate battle of Lilith versus Lucius. And fortunately, someone remembered that they could stand up, so we brought Lucius back, and then they killed each other. So.
Yeah. Lilith killed him first, and then I went, no, I've got something in my Codex. No, oh, here it is.
Fight on death! So he fought on death and killed Lilith, but Lilith killed him first, so I'm taking it as a moral victory. Because in the end, the score was 81 to 46. Don't make me play Drakari. What did I do after that battle? I bought a combat box for Drakari. I was like, fuck it, I need more. I need to do something with them.
This army that I hate playing and I always lose with, I must buy more.
Yep, that's exactly what
the
happened.
solution to hating them is to produce more of them.
You sound like a Land Rover owner.
The Lord Cacophonous mortal wounds, that's what we're talking about. Tag, kill something, mortal wounds. Tag, kill something, mortal wounds. It was just unbelievable. He just
killed me a lot.
That whole army, has unbelievable amounts of mortal wounds just going out left, right, and centre.
So that's the battle
kill
report.
Heavies.
That is the battle report. You did have a game versus Antony's Blood Angels. No photos. There was
They weren't per se Blood Angels. They were just, it was a Vanguard squad of Phobos, and it was just Red Space Marines.
Okay.
So he had no Blood Angel main characters. He had no Death Guard. He just played the Vanguard thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the World Eaters kind of... Well, let's just say he didn't have to do any of his stealth or, you can't shoot me because I'm out of 12 inches or 18-inch range because World Eater's already there. The 8-bound, my 6th squad of Exalted 8-bounds just went jump, and took out in a matter of 3 turns, I'd say 3/4 of the army. Because they just kept going into engagement range, and then I killed that one. I'll just go into that one and go into that one. It was just unbelievable.
Yeah, they're like everyone's going. Oh no, not everyone, but I heard a few people say that the Death Guard, how that toughness 6 for a normal Marine is stupid. Nobody should have that. So it doesn't matter when getting hit with an anti-infantry 2 up. So he negated my toughness very quickly.
Anti-vehicle 3 as well. It's just like...
Yeah, really good when you're running a vehicle-only detachment.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yes. Oh, well. That was good. It was fun. Nobody cares about the ladder, so we'll move on. Who's on top of the ladder at the moment, Adam?
Well, it depends.
No, it doesn't depend. Someone's on top of the ladder, and it's not me.
Well, on Friday it was me.
It's still you, prick. You made me say
No,
it.
it's not me. It's you.
No, it's you.
No, it's you.
It's you.
No,
It's still
because
you.
you won on 1 extra point.
It's still you.
No, I'm Spartacus.
Yeah. I'm Alpharius. Yeah.
I thought I was second because
you're
it
on
brought
top.
you up.
Stop
because
it.
of the bonus point.
Yeah, no, because of the percentage. When I lose big because I played Chikari.
And when I lose, I usually lose by 1.
I'm going to go to the advert so we can go back and talk about the real stuff. How's that? Give yourself a small break, folks. We'll be right back.
It's like I've got a half-painted goblin team on my desk here.
Yeah, I stalk your Facebook to get the photos. Yeah. Speaking of stalking Facebook, welcome back, folks. How you going?
How you doing?
Yeah. Check it out.
Smooth.
This is all kind of weird. Let's move on. Right, we're going to talk about the topic of the month, which is... Oh, shit, I've already forgotten. Supplement. It is the way. All right, that was the title. What we're discussing is the new codexes for Salamanders and Imperial Fists that have been leaked. Not leaked. Teased. That's the word. Will there be supplements?
They've been teasing them.
Or will there be
They've been
more
teasing
to it?
those codexes.
Teasing me on this. That's why the Emperor's Children came out first. Hang on.
Oh, yeah.
And this podcast just went in a different direction. Right.
Wait for next week's pre-orders.
I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to control this, but Mark just won't let me. What? All right, so what's brought this on about? What's this brought about? Words. Look what you did to me. I swear it's water in my glass. It's true. So, we know something's coming for them. We know in the past that they have done supplements for Space Marines, because I've still got my Salamander one. I don't think I've got my Catachan one anymore, but no, I think I do. So we know they've done them in the past, but we've also started to notice with the Chaos Marine ones, with the Emperor's Children and World Eaters. And
Just all of them. There's a bunch of the new ones that are fucking shit up.
Yeah, but we're noticing that, like, the Hellbrutes, for example, do different things depending on which faction they are with. Or the Demon Princes, we were just talking about this before. The Emperor's Children has a free tank shock, which is not bad at all. What does the World Eaters one do?
Flies over and does mortal wounds when there's shits on them.
Is it on foot?
Oh, on foot.
Yeah.
Hellbrutes do one thing in the World Eaters Codex. They do a different thing in the Death Guard Codex. And in the Emperor's Children Codex, they disappear.
Yeah. That was a pretty impressive version of them. Yeah. So, Thousand Suns, well, we don't know what we'll do with them. I haven't seen anything. But, yeah, so the Hellbrute for the Death Guard do something different. So it starts to think, if they're going to do that, and at the moment you've got Space Marine Codex, boom. But everyone has the same Dreadnought. They do nothing different, no matter what faction you are. Are they going to change that? Are they actually going to bring out more? If it's, say, it's a Salamander one, it might either have a stronger flamer or a resistance to fire or something, or a bonus to flamers, for example. Because if they're going to bring out a supplement without doing things like that, what else is it going to be? It's going to be a 2-page book with 2 characters.
For $50.
No, you're very, very generous.
I mean, that does sound like GW.
Well, that's exactly what they did in the past with the last supplement. It was 2 characters.
Yeah. Before the Space Wolf Codex came out, I would have been way more likely to go, oh, well, maybe they will put a bunch of stuff in there. But the upcoming Space Wolf Codex, they've taken out things that used to be in it to replace them with Devastator squads and stuff like that. Like they lost Longfangs. They have to take normal Devastator squads now.
The model's still available for Longfangs.
They didn't have models.
That's why they don't.
You just got a Devastator squad. You got a Devastator squad, and you put the upgrade sprues on them.
Yeah, so they don't make it. They're taken out of the book. That's nothing new. So
they can't say that at the same time as releasing multiple new kits, though, to replace ones that did have models.
So you've seen the Space Wolf, for example. I was going to say Hellbrute. The normal standard Redemptor. Does that have anything different to a normal Redemptor, or it is just using the Space Marine book Redemptor?
There's there's basically none of the new Primaris stuff in there. The only Primaris units that get rules in the new Space Wolf Codex, they've replaced Bloodclaws with Primaris. They replaced Grey Hunters with Primaris, and they upgraded the Priest and Nyal to be Primaris. Like, they keep their old Dreadnoughts, but they're all still the old Dreadnoughts. There's no Redemptors, there's no Impulses, none of the new stuff is in there. They didn't go, here's a special Longfang version of Desolators. There's nothing like that.
Desolators. Sorry, I hate those ones.
Yeah, no,
so
it's
much.
shit. They used to have a better version of Reavers, which they've lost. It's not in the Codex anymore.
So, yeah, okay. So that makes it very difficult to sort of see what they're going to do with these supplements then. If it's going to be Vulcan's boys, they don't have a lot to add to it.
The obvious elephant in the room is that their new codex would contain rules for relic Saturnine Terminator armor, relic Saturnine Dreadnoughts. They're salamanders, man.
Yeah.
Like, they're the only new salamanders models we've seen incoming.
For the heresy, yeah.
And they're huge. They're like Primaris huge.
Interesting. All right, so what about Imperial Fist is the other one? I know they've got at least 2 characters, and Black Templars.
Who's the second one?
Black Templars? What am I thinking of?
They've got Torgarden and
Torgarden.
Yeah.
And the guy that's
Lysander?
in the Terminator's soup.
Yeah, they're both into it.
Yeah, Lysander and Torgarden.
Yeah.
And then you can also have your Crimson Fists.
That's the one I was thinking of. Fists, not Black
Templar. Who you'd get Pedro Cantor, and that's it. They might bring back. There was a lot of talk that they might bring back the first Dreadnought. I can't remember its name. Gary? The Iron Dragon or whatever it's called. The Salamander's character.
Oh.
He used to be a special suit of Dreadnought.
Yes,
a special suit of armor called the Iron Dragon. There was an old Heresy Dreadnought.
There was a special character Dreadnought for a very long time, but he got legendized fairly a while ago.
Yeah, there was a lot of noise thinking that this new Saturnine Dreadnought was going to be him.
Oh, that looked like shit. I don't like that idea at all. Okay, so if it's 2 characters and 2 characters and maybe Crimson Fist for Imperial Fist,
then it's really Supplement Super Friends.
But it's not even Supplement. It's a White Dwarf entry for 2 characters.
Yeah.
You know what it is? That's Codex Imperial Knights First Edition.
Imperial
we had 2 knights, and that was our Codex.
Yeah. So why would they do it?
Supplement Space Marines.
So do we know that they're actually doing separate ones for each chapter?
Well, the images are very clear.
We don't know much.
Yeah, they're very clear that is a Salamander and that is an Imperial Fist. So the theory is they'll come out and then...
So the theory is they will be an individual book.
Yeah. So does that mean the Raven Guard, Ultramarines... Well, our Ultramarine characters are all in the main codex, aren't they? So
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe they are. Yeah, like there's images of the Templars, the Salamanders, and the Imperial Fists in the teasers.
in the teasers, which does lead to believe that you'll probably see the Iron Fists, Raven Guard, at least those two. Ultramarines, don't know because, well, they are the Codex, right? So that the Space Marine Codex is an Ultramarine Codex. They don't vary from that.
There's a reason why in Second Ed we didn't have a Space Marine Codex. We had Codex Ultramarines.
Yeah. So with Salamander, the other four, I'll just keep saying other four because otherwise people might think I have a bias towards Salamander, which is true. Yeah, come on. How do you make them a supplement? What do you need to add to them to make a supplement out of it? What do you need to make a full codex out of it, if that's possible?
To make a full codex, you need more units.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're essentially codifying an army.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had a lot of...
creating a phamphlet that's got like 3 data cards on it.
We've had a lot of new codexes that have got like 16 units in them or less.
Photons.
You can have very small codexes that they still call codexes and still charge as a codex.
Yeah. Imperial Knights, Chaos Knights would be examples of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Photons don't have a big list.
And they might do something like with the Space Wolves, they gave them a bunch of different detachments named after the sagas. Maybe it'll mostly be detachments and stratagems.
Yeah, but with
And
that,
Crusade
will they FAQ the detachment that if you are an Imperial Fist, you take that the Fist detachment? Was it the Siege or whatever it is, the heavy one?
That's in the normal codex one, the Siege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they would have to, if they bring that, well, that's got to be that detachment. So you kind of expect they'd probably FAQ and go, this is no longer valid if you pick a generic Space Marine.
I don't know if they do that because Blood Angels can take anything out of the Space Marine Codex. They could run Firestorm.
Yeah, they'll probably just get extra ones.
Yeah.
And other people can use those ones, and then they'll get extra special stuff on top of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we go down the detachment side of things, I like the idea that we could get specialized detachments to suit the army playstyle more than just the one that's in the Codex of Marines. Does that mean that, like, one of the complaints about 40k for a while now is losing the flavor of each chapter? Is this them trying to bring back the flavor? So actually, this feels like a Salamander army. It's not just because
you're just a green Space Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
yellow Space Marines.
Conceivably, they could go down the route. I mean, yeah, they don't have many units, but if they got like unique stratagems and then they bring in like the formations and stuff like that, I could see them sort of almost even turning it into a bit of a mission book in some ways too.
That is the one, Black Sword, Anvil, Siege, Detachment. Yep. I think adding, each codex is getting 6 detachments when they come out? I think it is.
About that.
Yeah. So a supplement with 2 characters, 6 detachments. That's huge.
I just can't help but think that I don't think they're going to duplicate what's in the Space Marines Codex. And
there's only 3 detachments in the Space Wolf Codex.
Space Wolf?
Yeah, in the new one, there's 3. Based on the leaks, I could be reading made-up AI bullshit.
Tinfoil hat, people. Tinfoil hat.
AI slop is real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Don't forget, also,
the leaks say that there's only 3.
Yeah.
Every detachment will probably have their different oath of the moment, like Blood Angels have got a different oath of the moment than the normal Space Marine oath of the moment. So I could sit there and see each army will have their own separate oath of the moment, which will give them their own flavour. Whether or not that goes as a supplement,
I think.
And you could have multiple chapters in that supplement.
Yeah, I know. Well, Salamander, Habit. Blood Angels still get Oath of the Moment, but they don't get the full version of Oath of the Moment. All Marines get Oath of the Moment. It's just if you're a spin-off chapter, you don't get the wound as well. It's only to hit. Which, if they comes out that Imperial Fist does get an Oath of the Moment. See, I do know other chapters. With their own Oath of the Moment, they'll have to FAQ and change the wording, errata, to if you're Black Templar, blah, 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 and Imperial Fist, you don't get the full version. Okay, so if they come out with detachments, we'll say 3, because if you say in Space Wars only have 3, I don't remember how many Blood Angels have. Dark Angels, what have they got? How many?
I want to say 3.
Yeah, so it sounds like maybe 3
But I'll have a look.
detachments per spin-off. I like the idea of salamanders that have more flavour behind it. I remember the times when salamanders used to have a bonus against flame weapons. You know, hit them with a flamer, they laugh at you. That was good. It was flavoursome. Be interested to bring things like that back. Chat, if you're listening in, what would you like to see in the supplements to try and make them a bit more full than just two characters being added? Let us know what you think.
Yeah, Dark Angels had 3.
There you go. So it sounds like 3. So if they come out with an Imperial Fist, Salamander, what am I missing? Iron Fist and the birds. The Ravens, whatever they're called.
Raven Guard.
Thank you. I had Dark Ravens and couldn't get off it. It was just, they get 3 each. That sounds
And
more
White
appropriate.
Scars.
White Scars. Oh, I can't believe I forgot them. Oh, I'm sorry, Khan. Don't hurt me.
I mean, they might just put in 3 different variations on salamander detachments.
Yeah. And then the 2 characters.
Yeah.
Would they add... Sorry, someone's trying to talk and I've got something right at the top. Would they add specialist units in there?
Conceivably.
It's possible. I guess it depends on whether or not they've got the AutoCAD budget for it with all the other stuff they've been producing.
The other question is whether they revise the army rules. Because I know they, like in the Space Marines Codex, they have like, okay, you get these, army rules. Does the Codex supersede that and you get better ones or worse ones?
Yeah. So just looking at chat, Black Sword's got a theory. What if the detachments they bring out are only used for the Armageddon campaign that's coming out as well? So it doesn't actually mix with the rest of the 40k universe or meta.
Ooh. Trying to push people down a Crusade campaign or a campaign.
If they make a global campaign like they used to do in the past, I'm all in. I loved when they did that. But anyway, sidetrack.
They may make a detachment that is like for the campaign that people will use anyway.
Yeah, it'd have to be
But you couldn't do it
useful
in a tournament.
You'd have to be... if they did a supplement with detachments that are only for Armageddon campaign, that's a fair investment for a very small niche to play.
I mean, they've done that kind of stuff before.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we know there's a big push for the tournament players, and that's why they judge how they're going to change rules by tournament results and stuff like that. So if they're going to bring out a book that tournament players can't use, it doesn't seem like the best business sense.
I mean, they're already doing that. They're bringing out Crusade Armageddon. That is a book that tournament players can't use.
Yeah, but that affects everyone. It's not just one. Like, if I buy a Salamander that I kind of can use a campaign of the Armageddon, I can't use it anywhere else. If I buy the Armageddon book, I can use any army for that. So it's still playable outside tournament because I can use any army where one book just on Salamanders limits to be, especially at the price point they'll bring it out as. We expect it to be. Not cheap.
Yeah, I mean, if they were going to bring out special Armageddon Salamander detachments, I'd expect them to be in the Armageddon book.
Yeah. Yeah, same. So, I don't know enough about Raven Guard, what special units they would bring. Their assault with jump packs, I'm assuming, would have better. Maybe assault instead of the interceptors. No,
See, the thing
Better
is
snipers.
that is that more an army rule on top of a standard Codex unit
yeah.
versus an actual bespoke, assault unit that,
Well, this is it. Like the Black Templars, for example, they have Black Templar only impulses, Black Templar only repulsors. They can't use the normal Codex ones. We talked about a Hellbrute in the Death Guard is different to the Hellbrute of World Eaters, different skill. So would they come down? Probably not a Hellbrute for Raven Guard because they'd be confusing. But they bring out, say, the Infiltrators will have a different skill to the Infiltrators now to represent more that Raven Guard style. Infiltrators is not a good example. I'm thinking of the ones with the cloaks and the sniper rifles in the background.
Yeah, it could help. Yes, they could do that. Whether they could be asked to,
What they would be more likely to do is what they've done in the Dark Angel Codex, which is, if taken as part of a Dark Angel army, this unit get the tag Deathwing and the appropriate rules.
For a supplement.
And they would say, in a Raven Guard army, Vanguard units have this additional rule. Doing a data sheet for them separately feels unnecessary.
They did it for Black Templars, though. That's my reference to saying that they have done it in the past.
See, the thing is,
the Black Templars have actual extra units, though.
But the reason they did it in the Black Templar Impulsor, because a Black Templar Impulsor has different rules to a normal Space Marine Impulsor.
Yeah. And it needs to be able to hold scouts.
Yeah.
Yes. And I mean, it would justify if they were doing that kind of thing and giving you the actual data cards for all of these different units. I guess at that point you could potentially argue the case that it is an actually real codex rather than just, a one-pager that gives you some formations and extra stratagems and stuff.
And more lore, because we all love more lore.
Oh, it'll have all the lore, but you'll have to change some of those models. You have to change some of those models around, like
these days they skimp
the
on
template.
it. They just give you that calendar of events and then call it a day, and then they give you some cool full spread art, and that's like the fluff is really gone away.
Yeah. We haven't seen a fully detailed Dark Angel Force organization chart for the chapter since like 6th or 7th edition.
Yeah.
Where it names all of the chapter masters and talks about what each company has and names each master of each company.
Yeah.
We haven't had one of those in a long fucking time.
No.
There's a lot of stuff they don't put in the codexes these days.
Yeah, I think there's also if you start putting down the structure of an army, you might get people, I've already got this because I've bought this book back in second ed. It's already had all this. So not to repeat themselves.
Yeah, but 90% of the lore is like that already.
Yeah. I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm not the law person. I am not the law. I can take my helmet off.
I am the law.
new players are coming in on 9th or 10th and
I have no idea. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
They're not going to dust off a second ed codex
Adam.
from bloody 1990.
Yeah, you
That's
got
what
to
you said,
jam that
Adam,
extra
before.
lore in there at the
I can't
tail
shut
end
these
of
two people
10th
up.
as 11th is in sight.
Adam, you have the floor.
I have the bone. As we were saying, yes, Black Templars, you said, had their own repulsor and stuff like that. What's to say that I just turn around and go, but they need to change the data sheet for every single model for a Salamanders and for Imperial Fists and stuff like that. So it just, right now I can build a Imperial Fist list on my phone through the app using the Space Marine Codex. It'll have to be something like little different, like, the Terminators move 7 inches now or something like that, which the World Eaters do move 7 inches.
That's it. The White Scars might have an extra movement to it because, they pull their...
I recall that
they
Space
push
Wars
harder on
punched
the
and got extra
accelerator.
movement.
Yeah, so I can see them doing that, and then there'll be enough for people to buy and then unlock the code and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then people go, I'm just going to use the Space Marine Codex. And you go,
Yeah.
that's not the right
Financially,
army
it's good
list.
because you're getting the codex, getting all this, but you don't have to build new models, like have to sell new models. You'd still be buying the standard Impulsor, even if it's whatever faction. The model doesn't change, the rules will.
Yeah.
So we just got a couple of chats. Black Sword, the question, could they have just released this Armageddon campaign, rules, detachment, etc., as a White Dwarf issue, especially if it's limited time for use? Well, I think they made a promise that they're going to bring out a campaign once a year. So, how much people... I don't play campaigns. We tend to just one-offs. It's bad on us. Don't know. Thoughts?
I mean, I feel like they've been trying to avoid publishing stuff that people absolutely need in White Dwarf. They seem to be allergic to it.
Yeah, I think
because I used to only buy White Dwarves when something like that got published, and I haven't bought a White Dwarf in a long time.
Yeah, I think there was feedback on that is the multiple books of White Dwarves and stuff like that, and
People fucking hated it.
Oh, hated it. Yeah, you'd be taking reams of White Dwarves plus your Codex and stuff like that. So I think they've tried to get rid of that. And if you're buying a book which has a code in it, you have to buy the book. If you're buying a magazine, what I don't know how much the magazine is these days, but yeah, you're not getting that investment by buying the White Dwarf. The Joker. New players are coming in for the comp side over lore, and GDR say, if you want lore, read these novels. Yeah. There's also a lot of...
Yeah, but the novels won't go into an org chart for Dark Angels or other armies.
Yeah, codexes give different lore to novels. Always have done.
Sorry, Joker, I agreed with you.
Okay, you guys can be wrong. It's cool.
We're wrong together. Two wrongs make a right, right? Yeah, I'm sure that's how it works. Yeah. All right, so I feel that that's a real possibility that they will bring out data sheets for all, well, not maybe not all, but key things such as the White Scars will have, the Outriders might actually have special weapons. Land speeders are a little bit better than other land speeders because that's their thing. They might even get a Khan on bike as opposed to... Yeah.
The White Scar model range is so fucking stupid right now.
So stupid. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, just good. Would they bring back any of the Heresy Specialist units, such as for the Salamanders, the Fire Drakes, and the Pirate class?
I think they would be silly not to if they do intend to do an actual codex for the Salamanders. Like, what else are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, I can see that they might make the Infernus Marines might have a different skill or something to try and reflect that they're Salamanders. There's a data sheet that they don't have to change the model or make a new model. They just change a rule, which makes you get excited. I want to buy the book.
These Infernus Marines are hounds of Salamandai.
I mean, conversely, they could just actually make new models and like win people over with cool shit.
So the challenge of building new models, if it's a specific model, like this is a Salamander range and this is a Iron Fist range, you need to have enough people to buy them to make it financially for them to build them. Like, there's enough Dark Angels out there, as sad as it is, that make it worthwhile for that. World Eaters, Champions.
You can see what they'll do, though.
You're forgetting the upgrade sprue kit.
Oh, yeah. They can
and I can see what they'll do.
That's different.
You wanted an Imperial Fist Blade Guard veteran. Here it is. Look, they're yellow. Here's a Salamander's Infernus Marine Squad. Look, they're green on the box. Same sprues.
Yeah. Just on the box they changed it. Yeah. So not all of them are Ultramarines. I like that. Just that fact.
Nah, you gotta do it like old school, like with the Fallen Dark Angels / Dark Angel Veterans box, where it was the exact same box with the exact same picture, they just color graded
Yeah.
so that they were black on the fallen one. Like they were in the same poses. It was the same
Yeah.
models with the same color scheme. They just digitally redid the green black.
No, they just ran out of color printing on that day.
It was so stupid.
It was just sitting in the sun for a bit long. Yeah.
But that's something I could see them doing because they go, but then people go, I'll just buy that. It's going to be the same price if you want the Infernus Marines or the Salamanders Infernus Marines.
This one's green.
Yeah,
It's
but
gotta
people-
be-
You say that like the Rhino and the Razorback weren't different prices for a while there. The Razorback was cheaper for a while there than the Rhino.
Still had the same
It was
sprues
more in
inside
the
the box.
box.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that because I wound up buying 2 Razorbacks and
Because it was
then
cheaper than buying Rhinos.
and not gluing the lids on so that I could just swap them out for Rhinos if I wanted.
Yeah, it makes sense. Checks out. And you said the upgrade sprues will be huge, which is interesting because if you think about what they're doing at the moment with the boxes, they're putting a lot more into the kits than they used to. Like they've already said, the knights, for example, there'll only be 2 kits. Even though there'll be a new knight, it'll still be an existing kit. We're just throwing more into it. That kit when you buy
Yeah,
it.
like they did with the Warden and stuff.
Yeah. So they've done that a bit more, like the 2 different infiltrating squads of the Marines. What are they? Incursors and Infiltrate. I know Marines. If it's not a flamer, I don't care, all right? You can make either set from that one box kit.
I haven't looked super closely at the Blood Claws and the Grey Hunters. Are they standalone models, or do they look like intercessors with an upgrade sprue?
They look like intercessors and upgrade sprue, from what I remember.
I haven't looked super close at them. The Dreadnought, the Terminators looked noticeably different. So they either they had a really good upgrade sprue, or they were new models, like the Wolf Guard.
Yeah, don't know.
They haven't come out yet, so I haven't seen them up close. It just occurred to me that I haven't actually sat down and looked at them super close to figure that out.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
that would
be
be
interesting.
Black Sword
When
is
we
saying
pull out
they
the
are
box
new
set-
kits. The armor is all new. It's a mix of different pattern armors, not just Tacticus armor. There you go.
But we'll just pull it out of the box and we'll look at the sprues if it's got 2025.
Yeah.
1984.
That's what I suspected they were new models. I just hadn't actually confirmed that. So I mean, that's a point in favor of maybe they won't just do upgrade sprues, but also it's salamanders. Like I have a feeling they're significantly less popular than Space Wolves.
See, I always thought that too. But apparently they're not. They're quite popular. Wait, what? Since when?
Since they got crazy flamethrower rules that are nasty as shit.
Yeah, the flamers are fun.
Don't forget, there are some people out there in the world that like fire.
They just want to watch the world burn. Yep. But but for humanity, though, it's okay. Yeah, we're the nice guys, remember? We're the only nice guys in the entire world,
Yeah.
the galaxy.
They mostly want to see Eldar children burn.
Yeah. You've got to be specialised in something, right, to be good at it?
Yeah, they have a chart for how human you look, and
They pull out the hand cards.
Dead
Burn.
Man Talking likes fire. He's joined us now. Yeah. Okay. I can't even think what Raven Guard... No, what would Raven Guard get? What's their heresy thing that they do? Sit in the dark corner and cry?
They're stealthy cunts. They'd get some kind of upgraded Vanguard unit or snipers.
Yeah.
yeah, and didn't they have like better assault troops or something as well?
Oh,
I don't know.
okay.
They did have mutants
Did they?
back in
Yeah,
the
but-
heresy.
But they had the beakies originally, didn't they?
Yes, in that they had Marines who had beaks.
That will
well,
do it.
maybe that's why the helmet was that shape.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, to fit their lips.
Oh yeah, because Corvus tried to do shenanigans to rebuild their numbers, and the Alfarius sabotaged it, and it went bad.
Raven Guard have special sniper unit and special jump troops. There you go.
Yeah, there
Probably
you go.
New land speeder. What if White Sky get a new pattern jet bike? Anti-grav outrider squads. Oof.
Yeah, it'd be sweet. That'd be great.
No, me Dark Angels, me only have jet bike.
And then
So
you
much
have
for Samuel being the
salamanders.
only guy with a jet bike, right?
Salamanders just have a flamer option for every unit in the Space Marines Codex.
But we do.
Salamanders get a new unit. It's just 3 salamanders pretending to be a jet bike with their flamethrowers.
Like on a chair
Imperial
with a fire
fists.
extinguisher, that sort of style.
Yeah.
Imperial
a
Fist
flamer.
rules.
Yeah.
Imperial Fist rules. Movement 0. If you move, you're not the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be just, I'm interested to see what they would get. I'm seeing Blade Guard with a bigger shield. So it just.
Well, I could see them doing the Horus Heresy, the big Centurion ones. I don't know what they are. They are in the Codex, but the Centurion, they got the big drill spike hands, and they look awesome. Bring them for the Blade Guard.
Oh,
you know.
Centurions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what they are.
Yeah, the
Well,
Centurions.
Yeah,
the
the old
melee.
Centurions, like the old guys.
Yeah, Assault
Yeah.
Centurions, yeah. There's a
They
great
were a really
YouTube
cool
channel.
model.
He goes to tournaments with 18 Centurions.
I was super angry when those Centurions came out, and then I begrudgingly bought some, and by the time I built them, I was like, yeah, these are pretty cool.
I know.
Yeah,
I
so-
remember when they came out, I said, they're the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I'm now going, can I fit one in?
Yeah, it's a
I
Centurion
was
Devastator
arguing with
squad,
everyone
yeah.
saying they're not that bad. I think they're cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Just,
it did take some winning over, but
so, Chat's
crazy
talking about
grav
barbecues.
plus missiles and bolters and stuff was just nuts. So
Yeah.
Who doesn't love like nipple bolters?
yeah,
Yeah,
More
they're talking
DACA.
about barbecue. What are they having? Barbecue Xanthropes at the moment. Interesting. Brain food.
yeah. Unfortunately, NIDS won't be relegated to supplement status this edition.
So, if they're going to do a supplement for all of these guys, what does it mean for the Chaos Warriors? Chaos Space Marines.
Ooh.
Will
They
we
already
see
have
a
their
Night-
war supplements.
But will we see a Night Lords? Will we see an Iron Warriors?
No, so within the Codex for Chaos Space Marines, it has, unlike the detachments, it's got, if you want to do it, there is an Alpha Legion detachment,
Yeah.
which is, you know,
Stuff.
I've read it, but then it's got the all different of their legions as their detachment. It's like called out for like not detachment,
So
but it's like the Alpha Legion detachment.
because the vote for who's going to win's just popped up from Saturday night. So don't vote; it won't count.
So yeah, the Chaos Space Marines had the detachments, but they were listed as, you know, Alpha Legion, you know, and stuff like that. So that's what they did, and then they got their own armies
Yeah. Sorry.
within the Codex.
What I think they need to do is stop coming up with new codexes and release the fucking codexes for the pre-existing armies. Cough, cough, Drakari, Votan, Chaos Demons.
Yeah, I've already said no
No.
Chaos Demons.
I know they've said they're not doing Chaos Demons, and I will go to my grave bitching about it.
Yeah.
And the thing
Agents
is,
of Chaos.
didn't they say that the corn dog was going to make it in the World
Yeah, the
Leaders Codex?
Cerberus looking guy. Yeah. He's
He's
back.
not in there.
Karnak
Yeah, they said he'd go back in the index.
is in the index with
Yeah.
the Chaos Demons.
Yeah, but he's not in the World Eater one.
No.
But the dogs are.
Yeah. So
The Flesh Hounds are.
here's the other point. If they're going to bring out supplements for all 5 of the ones that we haven't seen yet, so, and if they, for some reason, did it for the rest of the Chaos Marines, 11th edition is meant to be next year.
That's what I'm
That's
saying. They don't have time
a
for it.
lot of books, including the, as you said, Votan and all that, who are still waiting for their book to come out before a new edition drops.
I don't know. If I was them, I'd push the edition back.
Well, one of the topics we
is
were
10th
talking about tonight was whether we're
Yeah.
going to talk about how broken 10th is or go down this path. We went down this path because I don't feel that 10th is broken enough for a reset anyway. An update, but 10.1 or 10.2, whatever you want to call it, but not a full 11th. But that's a different podcast.
Yeah.
10th come out before 2nd edition Heresy.
Someone on the chat might be able to answer that one. I don't remember.
All I remember is
No, it didn't. 10th edition came out in 2023.
So,
So
Joker's
it's
saying,
a year younger.
yeah.
I remember it was like my World Eater Codex or something like that came out, and then a week or two later, here's the 10th edition. It's just like, well, that was a waste.
Yeah,
I
and
remember being blindsided by 10th coming out because I didn't think that 9th was finished.
I think 10th came. I think we talked about 10th coming out earlier than they actually planned because leaks were just happening left, right, and centre. So they sort of brought it forward quite quickly. But
They've
remember,
been
10th was a
transitioning
hard
to like
reset.
a 3-year cycle.
Yeah.
like-
10th was a hard
Well,
reset.
apparently
8th was a
3rd
hard
edition
reset.
Heresy is a hard reset too.
They've changed some rules there. I know that, but yeah. So 9th wasn't a hard reset. You could use your codexes from 8th. So I feel that that's been all the case. We're going off track, but yeah. So we'll bring it back. What are we expecting? Do we actually think they'll bring out all these supplements before 11th edition?
No.
Do we think we'll actually get Votan, Drakari? Who else is missing? Will they get their codexes before 11th edition?
No, we'll probably
or are they
see
going to
them.
be the World Eaters of 10th?
Or they will be the next run of 11th. The
Which
next
means
set
11th
of
can't be a
codexes.
hard reset then. It'd have to be an update.
Yeah.
I mean, how close was the last 9th edition Codex to the release of 10th? It was pretty close, wasn't it?
It was World Eater,
Yeah,
and it was like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah. So Imperial Guide came out, then a couple of weeks later World Eaters, and then the new edition about 2 weeks later. It was
So, I mean,
painful.
they absolutely fucking might do that.
That's a hard reset, and
There's a lot of people complaining about having bought the previous 2nd edition Heresy book and discover that 3rd's about to come out and that it's going to render their previous books null and void.
yeah. So we're going off topic. Let's bring it back to the topic. We have been going on for just over an hour, so we can wrap up as well.
Well, it's kind of on topic. It's related to whether we think these supplements will come out.
True. But we're also starting to go down. Do we really need a new edition? Yeah, which I don't think
But-
so.
but
There are definitely key
I
rules that
honestly-
I'm going down the rabbit hole now.
I think they might call these things codexes, but I strongly doubt that there'll be enough content for them to realistically be a proper codex.
Yeah, I feel more they will call it a codex, they'll charge you for a codex, and it'll be like the Black Templars where you have exactly what it says in the Ultramarine book, but it will have a keyword of whoever it is with a slight change to their special rule.
Yeah, the cover will be thicker than the center of the book.
Yeah.
So, what was it? The 4th edition Dark Angels pamphlet codex?
Yeah. So we are expecting a Primarch to return, and yes, as Joker's pointed out, most of the theories is Dawn is probably the next one to return.
Rust.
I
mean,
feel it's probably
not
Rust.
the worst one to come
Rust.
back.
Falcon all the way. He's found of all his stuff. He's
It's gonna be Russ. He's got the Emperor's Spear and the lion's back, and then they can argue with each other. It'll be great. Bromance.
Bromance. Yeah.
Well, that's what we thought we were getting with Bobby G and the Lion.
Oh, there's many.
And we haven't gotten any bloody follow up, eh?
No,
It's pissing
there's-
me off.
The amount of storylines.
I want to
have
see
just
what
stopped.
happens.
Arc of Omens. Oh my god, don't get started on that.
Yeah, I want to see what happens when the lion walks in on Bobby G shagging his knife-eared girlfriend.
Who else is going to hold the camera?
Yeah.
All right, so that's my prediction. I think it probably will be called a codex and won't be a supplement, and that's what they'll do. They'll have the special rules. They'll have the 3 detachments. They'll have the 2 characters. Hopefully, they'll have something else like either Pyroclast or Fire Drakes as a extra unit. Look, you've got something back, or Ash Mantle, the Dreadnought comes back.
Prototype Terminator armor.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they do tie in the heresy stuff, but I doubt that will happen.
Look, I know they've wanted to get away with having a supplement and the other codex, but I see that they will use the supplement for specific characters, and then you're doing this one, then you're flicking into this one, and then you're going into this one, like what it used to be.
Yeah.
But then also refining specific rules, like as we were talking about the other day, how Thousand Suns Psychic is back.
I know, right?
You sit back and go, every codex has, in brackets, Psychic. So it's got to be supplemented or FAQ'd to go, if it is Psychic, it can be done in like this.
Oh.
So they may do it like in a supplement, like a Chaos supplement or a Space Marine Imperium supplement.
Agents of Chaos.
Agents of Chaos, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then they can have 2 or 3 supplements, which then highlights specific rules for them and only them, for Chaos, for Imperial Man, for Agents. You know, so then you can sit back on, haha, I play Sinesh. I do have
some
psychic.
kind of awakening of psychic powers.
Yes.
Yeah.
A psychic awakening, if you will.
It's just, but that's where you can see the supplements coming into their true form.
Yeah.
Yes, the supplements will have their own individual army flavors, but the supplements would turn around and go, just like the Thousand Suns, Emperor's Children have psychic weapons. So this is how you do it. Same with Space Marines. That's my feel.
Yeah. Michael? What's your theory?
Right.
We're wrapping up. We're following up on our theories. Yeah.
Look, I'm very surprised that they're doing this at all, and I really struggle to see how they're going to do it. That's why I keep thinking maybe they're just going to cop out and do the Saturnine stuff, because they have models for all this stuff, and it's already supposed to be salamanders. But, I mean, ideally, if they're going to do it, I would like to see them bring out at least upgrade kits for those 2 iconic units. And, you know, a couple of detachments and a couple of characters. Maybe bring back the old Legends characters as Primarises and all that. Bring back the new Dreadnought, etc.
Oh, God, yeah.
I don't think that they will do it for all of these chapters. I think they're not going to go beyond what they've already said, because they don't have the fucking time. Unless every month has got the same number of Codex releases as this month, where you're getting like 1 a week.
Well, I'm kind of expecting you will get a Codex every 2 weeks, because of the timeline of 11th and the way they've done Death Guard World is same week. Thousand Suns 2 weeks later. Space Wolves 2 weeks later. It's just...
The way they announced it is conceivable they would do Salamanders, Imperial Fists as a dual thing. And that's why I'm like, if they're doing that, though, they're not going to bring out new models. Like,
might have one new model with a battle box combat patrol.
So many armies are one new model releases.
Yeah,
but the other thing is that with a timeline like that, you can't sort of sit there and expect them to go like maximum effort and go, all right, this is the one book you need to field an entire army of Imperial Fists or Salamanders or Raven Guard or whoever, and that's really what people kind of want, because it sucks buying a supplement and then buying a Space Marines Codex and then buying a campaign book and then buying the next mission set and then you've got the rules and the errata and all of that stuff, and you've got 50 books on the table by the time you've got your army.
All the
and so it would be nice for them to do that, but I mean, if they're punching these things out as a double act every 2 weeks, it's going to be bare minimum at best, I reckon. I think they're going to be hardcover pamphlets.
Yeah, I mean, like 2025, we've gotten large-scale new releases for Astra Militarum, Emperor's Children, Space Wolves, kind of, and really Votan need one.
Yeah.
And I think the other armies can probably get away without them. But...
update Drakari. They haven't had a new model for...
Yeah, Drakari probably need it too, which doesn't leave room for them to do it to the Salamanders.
No. It'll be upgraded.
Like, I'd be very surprised if they do.
There'll be a character, like a fire chaplain. I don't know.
Or a character in an upgrade sprue
to
put on your Infernus Marines.
Yeah.
And your dreadnoughts or whatever. Not dreadnoughts, fucking
Terminators.
Terminators.
You're welcome. Yeah. All right, folks. We'll wrap it up. It's a good discussion. I'm hopeful we get a full codex, but we'll find out in a few weeks. You are right. Probably Imperial Fist, and Salamanders come out at the same time. Good green and gold. Nice. Not quite gold, but you know what I mean. Because we know Knights and Chaos Knights will come out at the same time. There is a codex that should be a supplement size.
Yes.
I mean, it has been several times.
Yeah, they've already
That one
admitted
that had
there'll be
units in it. That one that had 2 units in it got replaced 1 year later.
Yeah.
With a codex that had like 3 units in it.
Yeah. Yeah, they've already announced we'll have more pictures than there'll be content.
Well, that's
They've already said
50%
that.
more content.
Yeah, it was, but it was a bit of a shitter.
Let's get out of here. Thank you everyone who joined in. Thank you for joining in the conversation. We love getting your feedback as well while we're having a chat and putting some ideas into our head. Except for you, Dead Man Talking. No. Cool. Yeah, it's alright. Dead Man Talking hangs out with us a lot, so we're allowed to say that. And he's from up north, so yeah, that's special. Yeah. Pronto is also Adam, and you can find him on Instagram where?
Pronto 40k.
All right, you can find me on Instagram, Red Belly Black. The YouTube has had a name change, which I haven't told 2 out of the 3 here, but it's now called Red Belly Live Gaming because I'm the only one on it. No, I didn't get any content from anywhere else, so it's changed. So Red Belly Live Gaming. You can follow us there. Or follow us. Yeah, we'll still have these here. All right, I think we're done. Are we done? We're done? Are you done? You done? You're done? Everyone else chat? You're
I'm
done?
ready for bed.
Yeah, cool. Say goodnight, Mark.
Bye, Mark.
Say goodnight, Adam.
Say goodnight, Adam.
And I'm saying goodnight too, and we're going to leave it to Radio Mike to take us out.
So, is this the way? Frankly, some of these codexes have really been skipping leg day lately. But will GW bring back the gains? Only time will tell. But until then, you can always join us next month for more wobbly player syndrome.